Hello.
Hello, race fans. Today we are here to talk about the latest developments in rally car rallia, as it's known in Finnish.
I was just going to say, Rakastan Oralia.
That's right. Rakastamme rallia. LangTime Studiossa.
Um, I forget how you say hobby. Like the verb that means like my hobby is.
Oh.
Because that's what I really wanted to say. Because I don't.
Harras. Was it harrastamme?
Oh, I think it may have been.
Yeah.
And so that was what I intended to say. Wow, I just keep getting sudden chills. I'm sorry. Woo.
It's because we're talking about rally racing.
Woo.
Yeah.
So good. So good, people. Okay. And now I have verified that this works. I'm going to. Oh, wow. YouTube just becomes a cute little window when I close it. Because I'm otherwise going to have my Southwest app open.
Right. Oh, yeah. That was actually the very first thing that we needed to talk about. We're going on a trip tomorrow to Maine, and we are taking Southwest, which means that we have to check in ASAP. And so that is happening at 2:10 p.m. So Jessie has an alarm set so that she can be ready to check in for us. My phone, of course, is being used as a camera, so I can't check in on mine. Luckily, I remembered that early and turned off my alarm, which, by the way, was Fool in the Rain by Led Zeppelin. Great song, which has a bizarre history in that it seems to be almost identical to the song Some Kind of Misunderstanding by Genesis, in that it has the exact same chord progression and is about the exact same thing, which is a man who is waiting for a girl to meet him in the rain, but it turns out that he is at the wrong address, and that's why she hasn't showed up. These two songs apparently had nothing to do with one another when they were created. It is, I think, one of the most phenomenal coincidences on the face of the planet. Anyway, and to this day, no members of either band have apologized for this or provided any other explanation. It really feels like they're in cahoots. But yeah, if you don't know these songs, you got to go listen to them. Fool in the Rain by Led Zeppelin, and I don't know what the name of the song is by Genesis. It's like, maybe it's Misunderstanding, but there must be some misunderstanding. That was Phil Collins, right? Yeah, because Phil Collins sings it, not Peter Gabriel.
Yeah, sometimes I just realize I don't know what's going on anymore.
Right, and so then the chord progression for that one is, it goes, bum 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 ba bum bum do 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 bum 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 bum. Now, Led Zeppelin one is bum 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 bum.
So,
Bum, bum, bum,
side
bum,
note,
bum,
David,
bum.
as you're singing,
Very similar.
four people have said that there's a whole bunch of cutting out of the feed.
The audio or the whole thing? That's really important.
So Patrick Miles, Languagist, Magpie.
The whole thing.
We all just sort of, we don't know what to do about that. Okay,
Yeah.
so like it just seems like this, they get a little beach ball spinny. And my little YouTube seems fine, but.
Miles says,
Okay.
I refreshed and you're back now.
It's just a rough start.
Yeah, it's one thing if one person says it. If several different people in different locations say it, that's worrying.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know where I was going with that basket. I think I was just trying to pretend like I was cleaning and then realized there's nowhere to put things because we're using them.
Anime fan says it's fine, so that's really all that matters.
Okay, Tinguish, what a fun name. Oh, also, Language has said that the English that rally drivers speak in Finnish is called Rally English. And so
Do they speak a different type of English from other Finnish speakers?
I believe it probably just means there's certain like rally terms and things that get tossed in that wouldn't otherwise get tossed in. So sort of like a Spanglish situation, but with specific to rally terms.
Understood.
In the middle of Finnish, probably.
Anyway, I'm really just, to be frank, I'm really just stalling specifically until 2:10. And it just feels like it's taking forever, even though we started 2 minutes late. That, by the way, was my fault. I forgot to, what was it I forgot to open? That was like, oh, yeah, the poll.
Well, the poll, but you also had to get your phone alarm turned off because
that's
the
right,
camera.
that's
and
right.
so that was the very last minute thing that we realized.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so, anyway, oh, good old Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there goes my alarm. That means it is
2:08.
2:08 because I wanted to be reminded 2 minutes early. So this is the 2-minute warning. Oh, okay, that their English has a heavy accent. Perhaps.
Why rally drivers specifically? Is this such an important thing in Finland that like you actually notice
it's important enough that Duolingo's like, we need to introduce this as like a hobby that you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many other hobbies that we didn't learn the words for, but rally driving, we learned.
Like there's probably something that's noticeable about rally drivers in America, but like you could literally make up any stereotype about rally drivers and most Americans would have no way to evaluate it. You'd be like, oh yeah, rally drivers always leaving the flap open on their jackets, and we'd be like, sounds right. What is rally driving? I still don't know what it is. Is it F1? Is it another word for F1? Like, I don't get it.
I would look it up, David, but it is 2:09 and I am...
Oh yeah, Jesse's
I am on
locked
it.
in.
I'm zoned in, zoned out, whatever you want to say. Locked in is good.
Also, like, I don't get your joke, Bubba, so now I'm genuinely concerned. Is something going on with my name?
I think it was that joke you did a while ago where it was like Frank, the dentist or something, wrote something on Tumblr.
Oh, no, that wasn't, that was Daniel.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, Bubba, maybe you need to explain the Frank.
Yeah, it's just like random
I'm like
stuff,
shaking.
CJ.
Is it 2:10 yet?
Like when I learned that the winner of the Indy 500 literally pours a bottle of milk on themselves, it's like that level of randomness. I'm like, that can't be true. And then you see videos and it's like, oh God, what are they doing? Do they immediately go shower? They must stink after that. Here we go. Here we go.
Refresh. There it goes. Okay. Oh no, I may need you to take your phone off. It's telling me. Oh wait, here we go. Check in. It was telling me to see a gate agent.
Yeah.
Okay. View all boarding passes. We're B12 through 14.
Okay, that's not bad.
And then A50 through 52 on the next flight.
Not bad. Not bad.
Whew. Okay.
Where are we? It's not transitioning. It's not transferring. Is it transferring?
Yeah, we're transferring.
You call that transferring when you land in one place?
A layover? Yeah.
Yeah. Where is it?
St. Louis.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now for the next one to see if everything...
Is there anybody for whom our feed is perfect, or at least as normal as it usually is? Please speak up in the comments. Let us know if it just seems fine to you and you've never had any problems with today's stream. Well, Jake says it's normal. Maybe it's something to do with a hurricane or some other kind of aberrant weather that happens outside of California.
Okay.
Bubba says it's fine.
So now we did that.
Nice. Okay, Bubba, you still have yet to explain Frank thing. All right. Oh, Tinguish's first time watching.
Hello!
We are so happy to have you here. We hope that after watching live, you are not an ex-Tinguish.
You said I'll be frank with you.
Oh,
Bubba was listening.
You were. I wasn't.
Because you said, I'll be frank with you. I'm just stalling. And that was it.
That was a joke from what you call it? Well, I mean, it's a very old joke, I'm sure, but it was in My Man Godfrey. May I be frank with you? Okay, be frank.
Okay, but now, David, later we're going to need to go on the website, and my information has not updated in the system. So, but we do have boarding passes, so yay!
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Danglish is halfway through the mouse slang. Oh, that's cool, man. So then, yeah, you're gonna see all the changes in location. Have we moved? Because did we finish Wokuthishu upstairs, or did we come downstairs during the cat language?
Oh goodness, David. That's a good question. That is a really, really good question. Now I've got my phone set up for this so I can watch chat, which means I can change over here. But I think we were downstairs during at least the font creation of Wokuthishu. I don't know that we started Wokuthishu down here, but I know at least part of it was down here, over at the desk. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, and now we're ready. David, we don't stall anymore.
Yeah, sorry.
We're locked in.
The joke in My Man Godfrey was a little more complex because that was the maid he was talking to. He's like, may I be frank with you? He's like, and I think she said, like, is that your name? He says, I'm Godfrey. And she says, okay, be frank. Then he goes on. That was from the beginning of the movie. Okay, so let's take a look at the poll. And this poll was to examine the status of one glyph, and one glyph only, the water lily glyph right here. Is it all on screen, Jess? Like, I feel like it should be.
I think it is.
Okay. So this water lily glyph right here, we had 4 different ways that it could show up. So we have this version, which is kind of the squat version where this thing goes up to the top of the X. We had that we called the squat version. We have B, descending petals, where the petals kind of descend a little bit to the descender line, just to give it a little flare. We have one where it's been totally regularized to X height. And then we have another where it's everything has been made X height, but it has a slight ascender. Anyway, so we asked you to look at these forms. All the forms got votes, but 2 of them led the pack, and that was B and D. Basically, if you liked the descender or if you liked the ascender, that was really the difference. And the margin was razor thin, but the winner was, any guesses?
Whenever I try to guess.
Did you have a favorite?
I mean, I did have a favorite, yes.
Which one?
This set, actually, it was the top one that was my favorite.
A?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, that one was way out.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm sure. But I knew that last time, too, because our live vote that started this whole thing,
right.
I knew it was out. So with that information, then the final one was my favorite. I liked the middle line being taller.
Very well. So, in fact, that is what is happening. And so D is the winner.
Well, then my second favorite.
Yeah.
Woo!
All right. Oh, Miles, don't peg it on me. Okay, so D is our winner, and that is what we shall pursue. So, back, leaving normal view and going to font view, and then Jesse, you can examine and make sure everything's looking all right. We have the notebook right here that we can call forth at will.
Woo!
Yeah, but to start with, let us cement the. What can we see there? Can we see the? Yeah, this is a good note for me. I have to note that I can only see that okay, 1, 2, 3, the bottom 2 lines are going to be cut off. So I have to remember that. The bottom 2 lines are cut off. All right, so we're going to, so you're not going to be able to see what I'm working on, but where does the ascender go? Is it 1500? I think it's 1500.
Perhaps. Okay, so to remind you all...
1600? Whoa! Wow! That can't be right.
That's David being excited.
Is it really 1600? No, it's 1500. I knew what I was doing. Goodness. The fact that this one goes to 1600,
Oh my goodness.
is that proper? Oh, I suppose it is. All right. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, there we have it. There we have it. Yes. So there you go.
You ready for me to talk then?
Dunsey. Yes, it's your turn.
We had come up with 2 of the 3 names needed for engineer.
Yes, we did.
So we have...
Did I do some of that off screen?
And Mawuka. Do what off screen?
Did I do some of the engineer stuff off screen, like after the stream last time? Because I think I decided against something, right?
Well, you
or was
decided
that
you decided that you liked Square Paw and then Great Square Paw for levels 4 and 5, and so we just took out the idea for the middle one.
The mud one.
No, the squinting one.
Squinting.
Because it was too much of an English idiom to be an eyeball.
Yes.
Something. And
right.
So we took it out.
Yes.
And I got my retribution in creating mouse names in our patron stream that totally went against the grain of what we had decided to do for mouse names. And so I got in some good stuff. We still have mud thrower or something with mud. I was actually just thinking like spreader or something where like you slather mud on something.
Before we get into the semantics of it, let's talk about the structure of the words. How are we doing these compounds? Was it going to be like, because it's SOV, was it going to be like mud throws or like...
Well, we hadn't gotten into that yet because we needed to land on words and concepts that we liked before we worried about the ness of it. It could be we have an agentive suffix, and so if we did want to have like some sort of thrower, spreader, slatherer, whatever, we could. We have that say suffix to make it so. But we could also do a sort of sentential shortening, like throws mud or like he throws mud or something like that.
I would love to see what kind of compounds we've done so far, because I had another idea. Have we done different verb compounds to make a compound verb? Because like we could have like, throw, slap or something, right? Like, throw plus slap tail together into like throw slap means to like put together. You know what I mean?
We do have slap the tail. That's exciting.
Yeah.
To dim and to fade is thou. No, that's a prefix. Never mind. Cloud is edun. I don't remember what thun means, or dun means rather. So yeah, we do have compounds. I would have to look up.
Like I was wondering.
You know what we need to start doing?
Verbal compounds. Yeah.
You're gonna hate this. But like, especially for compounds, it'd be really helpful to know what the words meant in their protoforms, so we knew what was coming together.
I don't think that's a bad idea. What I do think is a bad idea is the people listening to their TV too loud next door.
I remember Lanath. No, wait, I think that was just other side, was that one.
Okay, so I went through the whole dictionary. We haven't done a verbal compound like the one I was thinking of. All the
They're all just reduplication.
all the verbal things have been reduplication or suffixation. Here, hey, Jesse, come with me real quick. Jake, you're in charge while we're gone.
Oh my god. This is terrifying. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so what are you thinking then about it?
Well, I liked the idea of doing that kind of a verbal compound, but when it comes to when we're doing languages like this, we only work on it once a week, and we kind of lose the memory of it. I really much more prefer to do things we've already done than do something new. And so that's why I was hoping we had done one like that before. But I guess we haven't, so.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna be crazy here. This is smooth. Specifically for compounds, can you look at the entry for music, which is elaz? It's in the E's.
Yeah.
And Jake, I see you trying to change everything.
Nice plus.
Do you like the formatting of it before I go on? I just want to get these in because I want to get into our compound state of mind to at least see what we did with nouns.
Sure.
See, kind of get into the right area.
Here, let's. I'm going to propose an alternate, okay. And I want to see what people think. What do you? So first, what do you think of this? Is it showing up on the screen?
Yeah. Let me actually scroll up a bit. That'll be a tiny bit, and I can zoom in. Oh my gosh, my screen just freaked out because I zoomed in. Everyone, One moment while Why? There we go. I was just trying to zoom in for everyone at home, and then it jumped to a completely different page. Anyway, we're looking at the two entries for music right here, specifically looking at the entries. I myself like the little italics because we have a lot of parentheses and square brackets and other things going on anyway.
There we go.
And so I feel like it is a smoother transition, if you will, to just have the italics there. However, I'm what people prefer. Do you want me to put the other line in a different color?
No, let's keep it in black because I've already got a poll going.
Okay. And specifically only looking at the black entry for music right below the red entry.
Yeah.
Because everything else has not changed.
This poll is brought to you by Biblaridian. Biblaridian is it's a book software company, I think. It's I'm trying to remember. It's it's only for academic books, and it's something like if you've read a book, then you can pay like $1.50, and it will list you as having read that book on the site. And then in order to be a member of the Bibliotheridian site, you have to pay $4.50 a month. But then
for $150 or $4?
No, $4.50 a month. And then, but then other people can see what academic books you've read.
Oh, and by the way, as we're getting these votes, so my thought, David, tell me if you agree with this, is that really this information only needs to be added if it's a compound, maybe a derivation, something where it's like you can't just look at the definition and say that, for instance, the top line here, we have cloud and its protoform is AI and it comes out as A, and it means cloud, and the protoform meant cloud as well. Like, that to me is like redundant. We don't need to add that.
Okay.
But like where we start mixing parts where it's like the next level of cloud, we have a dune, and it's like, well, what is the dune?
Yeah. I think that's a fine idea. It kind of it's kind of similar to how Wiktionary does it. The red line here, that actually looks the way that Wiktionary looks when it does these things. These are always optional, and they're added usually if it's not clear. We had 11 votes, and it doesn't look like we're getting any more.
Maybe people can't decide. It's too close for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too near and dear to hearts.
Yeah, too close for comfort. All right, well, we'll end it. Looks like your version won out. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Are you okay with that?
I mean, I don't prefer it. That's why I suggested the other one. But the thing is, you prefer this one, and they prefer that one. I'm outvoted.
But if you don't prefer it, then I would rather you be happy.
I'm happy.
What if we do keep the italics, but we add parentheses?
No. That's good. All right, so then you're going to go through and do that. I am going to take a look at, is there a way, like, yeah, why am I seeing the top of the screen? Like, that is unnecessary. You don't need to see the top. Wait, not that, this. Not that. Uh-oh. That's the desktop. I need to be on Font Lab. Okay. There. And now, was it Alt? Well, I'm still not getting another full line. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Then I'm going to move that back a little bit. You should probably move your computer. Nope.
I think you're going the wrong direction.
Yeah, there we go. The lighting is really off. Should we turn on the light?
Yeah, you can do that.
I should be doing that anyway because we're coming upon fall back. Didn't really help.
I think saw originally meant to sit, and then it became the postposition in, at, on, near, or around.
Yes. Brightness just.
Interesting.
There we go. That's a little better. Okay. All right, so now, okay, I need to decide what I'm going to do next. So, frog, clover, rock stick, leaf. Let's see. Dam is interesting because there's a lot of stuff, but there's also diagonals involved. That is interesting, but we've already done cattail, water lily, lily pad. Oh, there was the whole seaweed thing. We did nose. Can I grab your journal again? This is just for me to look at.
It's interesting. It seems like to sit is the only one that led to a postposition. All our other postpositions just were there in their own right.
Oh, if we come up with a word for sundog, that's a really easy. Here, I'll show you here. That's a really easy glyph right there. Sundog. We got some others here. Kind of like corn.
Some of them are, as you can see, very intricate, and so like what you would end up actually, replicating maybe.
Because like
quite different.
What we ended up with for water lily was, something that looked like. Oh my gosh, this is so comically large, but. In effect, this character here, right? That was what we ended up with for water lily. That's probably a little bit too high, maybe like that. And so I was thinking if we did a similar thing for corn, it might end up looking like this. Sorry, I'm trying to actually, like, I don't know, like this type of a thing. Because, Jesse has the corn leaves right here, right? And then the cob, And so this is reminiscent of the leaves of the water lily that ended up becoming that. Otherwise, like, something that like is a V shape like this would end up coming out as a U shape, right? And then that just leaves this, and then that turns it into like a big block. And it's like, that is a weird thing. I don't know how that becomes a glyph. I don't know. Anyway, I'll give it. My goodness, Biblaridian's having problems too.
With our stream?
Yeah.
All right. That means we gotta do something. This is no good.
Like, the best I can do is just go... No, don't do that. It says excellent connection. I don't know. But yeah, if you had Sundog thoughts, I'm gonna, I don't know, try something with this corn, like just to see if I can get a glyph shape out of it. Maybe have to do something like. Where's our round? This.
Underground level. I think that just means water. Because lava's smooth.
Got to delete some of the.
It's loud. Yeah. Okay, this is already like, I had forgotten some of the really cool things we did in this language. Wow.
So like, I think this is the best I can do with corn, and I just don't know if that's. I mean, and I'm warming to it. I'm warming to it. It's well, of course they do. Do British people not have familiarity with corn?
Maize?
Or maize? Do you think Jake has never interacted with a corn?
Have you never shucked a corn? Me just shuck corn. Okay, so more than one person knows that it's their computers, because like my phone has been just fine this whole time. Biblaridian said, my computer isn't letting me watch, but it's working fine on my phone. I am so sorry, everyone. Can I see what corn we're thinking of?
Yeah.
I want to vote. I've been having fun over here with yeah, they come out. Oh. But yeah, the husks they bend off. Well, Jake has been to a maze. I guess you didn't steal any of the corn?
Yeah. Oh, I misspelled yay.
Yay.
Yeah. All right. Then yeah, we need a word for corn, Jess.
We do. I'm still working through these forms here, so please.
Well, then I guess it's up to the viewers.
What sound? I mean, what we have certain syllables we need to be targeting.
Oh, right.
Like so don't just get too excited about a form. We need to make sure we're actually.
Yeah, let's. I think if here I'm gonna. Uh-oh. What just happened?
It's on your computer right now.
Yeah, but did I do anything
Or
in the
on your
document?
Did it die?
Were you at cloud?
Maybe. Like I've been all over because I'm looking for forms.
Okay, but anyway, hopefully I didn't screw anything up. But yeah, the reason I brought this up was because you can see the blank cells. This is what we need to fill. Bobby Tati tu Didu Fi Vi Sisu. Ooh, is that a shla? It looks like an aleph with with the little hamza below it. So, Jake, I'm not even going to say the name of that on the stream. Mail drop.
Woo!
We could do mock. Yeah. Nobody else got anything, so mock it is. Well done, Tabby. We'll go ahead and write corn in here. Too late, hot plate. I'm going to put a star there because the glyph is already done. And now we're going to go back here, turn this off, and ma. It's kind of funny. The two glyphs are next to each other, Lu and Ma, but of course they'll never be confused for one another, and they're not close in pronunciation. All right then, that's another glyph done. Where to next? You know, this drawing of a lily root you've done looks a whole lot like a Japanese vegetable. Is it the same? Maybe Jake or somebody can help us out. This thing right here, that looks a lot like a Japanese vegetable. Do you know the one I mean? And is it the same or is it different? But yeah, as for what to do now, lotus root. Wow, so that's what that's been this whole time.
Yeah, I looked it up on Google Images because I didn't know what it looked like when it was suggested for a thing.
Yeah, we used to do family reunions every year for the Japanese side of the family, and it was always somebody's responsibility to bring the traditional Japanese vegetables. Most of them usually pickled. Is that the right word? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so there were these, and I never knew what they were. Turns out that it is lotus fruit. All right. Pretty cool. I did want to talk about a word for sundog at some point in time. Fern, I think, is also pretty easy. I have an idea for fern. Maybe I'll start there. Uh-oh. Fern. It's really interesting that this, the way that this writing system has come out, there are no diagonals. At least not yet. Maybe
do you think that's something that will continue?
I don't think so. Especially not based on a couple of the forms that we have here. So this seaweed one, and then this, the head, and dam. Dam, most certainly. What was the determination we came to with seaweed, that they would...
Oh, they would call it something else. It wouldn't be called seaweed. We had called it...
Right.
Like riverweed
or something
weed,
like that.
Pondweed. We had all sorts of names for it.
And our word for dam was pog. I may start with dam, because I think that'll be the easiest way to get a diagonal. So that's pa. And what's a good... This character right here is going to be a good one to copy. P-A, right
Yeah,
here.
it's just little things like remembering that Pagi, the name of the Beaver Kingdom, is, comes from Damland.
Alright, so we're going to get rid of these. And remind ourselves how the straights end up. The straights are actually opposite, so I need to go copy. Yeah. Okay. So this obviously is not big enough to get diagonals out of, so this character is going to have to be wider. That's the standard width. Here we have the oversized width, which is 1800. I'm going to start there. So I'm going to make this, what is that, 800? So it needs to be, 1000. So 1, 2, 1, 2, that's 1200. It's 1200. Right. No, it's 1400, right? It's 1400, so it needs to go 2.
Sorry, I'm
1, 2.
not super helpful right now.
No, it's 1800. All right. Diagonals. There are a few things I hate in life more than diagonals in a font, because there are all these weighting issues regarding how big diagonals should be in order to look the appropriate width. I'm going to disappoint you, anime fan. I am not a big fan of Halloween, and Jesse is also not a big fan of Halloween.
Okay, I think I got all these entered. Some of them we may need to kind of play with what form you would actually like being defined first, but it at least gives us an idea when we hit things like a compound, we're going to be able to see more clearly how we brought things together. And so far, David, I mean, you were obviously absolutely right. We don't have any verbal actual compounds yet outside of reduplication. We do have noun compounds where the second nominal is modifying the head, the initial, and of course noun adjective compounds. And so I think that opens the door to obviously verb compounds, I think, because you could have one verb supplying more information for a head verb. I feel like that would be good. I think we could have verb adverb compounds where you have some sort of modifier, especially if it's locational, kind of like a verb here or something, like where you...
Should it be adverb verb?
I was just doing the same as the noun compounds in my head, but yeah, probably would be David.
Okay.
Because with our noun compounds, the head word is first.
Mm.
But with verb compounds, it may be that the head word is last.
Yeah. What do you think about serial verb compounds? So like, when we say like go and find, it's like a compounding the two. But we can say go find too. Why don't you go find something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can do that. We do have options where I think we could do serial verb construction like that in Nulisu. We could also put the and in between them because we do have ga, which means and. It can join, verbs when they're meant to be sort of simultaneously understood. And so I think we could do something where we have verb ga verb, and that ga can kind of get swallowed up in certain phonetic environments. I think, especially where it goes from being a serial verb construction to used so frequently that it becomes its own compound. And so I think those are good things. I liked your idea of like tail slap, because we do have to slap the tail, or a tail slap.
Do those look too thick? This might be too thick. I mean, that's literally just...
Maybe it's just that we have beaver tail. My God.
I think those are too thick.
Yeah, it's just that we had tail of a beaver. I don't think we have actually slapping, like tail slap. But I feel like that needs to be a thing.
Yeah, because it's like a central part of our timekeeping system.
Well, not really. That was the explanation. Anything could be used to disturb the water. But because it's a beaver, and I think they would slap their tails, not just to pat things down, but, get attention, etc.
Anyway, I hope that everybody looking sees what I mean when I say that even though they're the same width as the horizontal and vertical lines, the diagonal lines look too thick. They just feel too thick.
God, it looks like it's from a different font.
It does. And so it needs to be reduced in size proportionately, and I never remember what the proportions are. I don't suppose any math people know the answer to this question. I'd be so happy. Just say X%, like the diagonal should be X% of the straight.
I'm reading Dark Horse's beaver culture story about the moon. We're in part 2. I'll start it while we wait for answers from our math people. A long time ago, waters covered more of the earth than they did now. It covered the low-lying lands that were good for growing. A young beaver swam out into the waters and started to build a reservoir, I can speak, to hold back the waters using whatever material she found along the way. She collected metal and glass and wood and stone. She built the reservoir bigger and bigger until it stretched into the sky. The waters covering the earth receded. The beaver broke off the bottom of the reservoir, and it floated into the sky. The diagonal thickness is too thick. And I am better at different kinds of math than what David needs right now. David needs the geometry kind of math.
I feel like it's...
that I was never a fan of.
I feel like it's half of a half, right? And so, because 90 is half of 180 and half of that is 45, and that's the degree that we're shifting it. So I feel like it's half of a half. And so if the whole thing is a width of 200, half of a half is 50, so maybe the diagonal should be 150. I'm going to give that a shot and see what it looks like. I hope it doesn't screw things up too much to... God, I mean...
To finish the moon story, so the bottom of the reservoir floated into the sky with the floodwaters. The beaver had to meticulously repair any leaks because a leak would cause massive floods, and that is why the beavers call the moon, and then insert the beaver name here. So the moon would be called whatever beaver did this. That is quite beautiful, Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Okay. You came up with like 2 words, I think, while I was working. They need to go in the dictionary. I think one was for corn.
Oh, right. Mock. Yeah. That was the only one.
That was it?
That was the only one. Here, I'll add that.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm good. I'm right here, babe. I'm doing things. I'm also realizing we have some issues with No. Me. Okay, never mind. We don't have alphabetization issues. Okay, corn is muck. Was there another one? You didn't do lily root or whatever? You didn't come up with a form?
No.
Okay.
Cavi's saying 30%. That's interesting. And then these need to come down. These would need to come down 25.
Oh, did you answer the
crap
angle of the diagonal? Because I think that may be important.
45. I'm pretty sure I said that.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, so these, because these need to come in 25 so that they're 50%. There. And now that is our skinny line, and we're going to try to repeat the rotate there, and then we're going to rotate that positive 45 degrees. And now we're going to make our X and just kind of eyeball it, try to get it at 600. It's not super important that we get it exact. It's actually at 500, but X height is 1200, so that should be at 600. All right, that's our X. We're gonna try pasting that in and just eyeballing it to see if it's better. Middle point needs to be at 900. That's a little better. Ignore the top and bottom. You know what, in order to do a fair comparison, maybe I should actually connect the top and bottom, because it can be distracting.
Oh my goodness. We did have we do have a verb meaning to pat with the tail. We just didn't put it in the dictionary yet.
Got it.
So it's not to slap. That's what I have been looking up. It's to pat with tail. And that is avi, which became our perfect marker.
Yeah.
Which means it may need to then be like reduplicated or something for it to have its like verbal meaning. I don't know when it is.
600, 600.
Oh no, it is so reduced as a perfect auxiliary. We can just have avi as a verb.
That's 800, That's 794, so okay, it comes out a little bit thicker. And it doesn't need to necessarily go that far. We're at 200. Let's make that whoa. That's not the action that we wanted to do. We wanted to do the set side bearings equal to 0. Okay. All right. What do you think of that, Jess?
Just 1 second. Are these lines different?
They are. They're different in the wrong way. It was just, for me, it was just a block of text. I don't know. It's just, how does that one fit in with the others?
It looks better than it did, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It just... It looks so scrunched up, like the details.
What do you mean?
Like the others, you clearly see the line pieces even as I'm sitting this far away from my phone screen. And this looks like I see the top and the bottom lines, but then it looks like I'm missing a lot of detail in the middle because it's like... like maybe if you can see it small here, like it looks like I can see all the lines, and then it looks sort of like a darkness in the middle where I know I'm missing specific details, like it's not filled in, but like I can't see what it is, if that makes sense.
Well, and this is what we need to do in order to compare. You know what? I actually think I know what the answer is. Because the basic shape is a rectangle, not a square. But the thing is, that would actually make the shapes less distinct. Shoot. Well, dang it, Jesse. Hold on.
I'm gonna make 2 verbs instead of just 1, and I hope you're happy.
For what?
I'm just doing it. So Avi is to slap or to pat with the tail. I would like to add the augmentative verbal prefix the to make it slap with the tail.
Okay.
So Zavi. Ooh, that's close to your name. That's exciting.
That's weird. Why is that $6.99, but this one is? Yes, those boys are longer. Oh, there's something definitely wrong with that, but we're going to throw it in there anyway. Good gravy. That looks terrible.
Oh, just a second. I'm looking. I'm entering these. Oh. Um, the ratio
I'm so angry.
should be 1 to 1.4 roughly.
I'm so angry. I'm so furious.
I wish I knew how to help.
The problem is, like, I thought of what's wrong with this X in general, but it's going to make the character in question, the damn character, even less distinct. Because it shouldn't be 45 degrees. It should be...
Oh, a little bit straighter.
Yeah, and that will make the triangles in between the, it's going to make it impossible to see.
Yeah, Juno, I get you, especially when so many other lines end up being more vertical, and then suddenly you have this X where you don't have the sidelines, and then it just feels like it's sort of floating in the middle.
We need an X that's that is 1,000.
That's so. I am knitting a scarf for David with High Valyrian, a message in High Valyrian on it, so it's got the glyphs. And because it's knitting, I have to effectively do it like pixel art, right? Because it's, each stitch is a stitch, which takes up kind of like a little square of your design. And so rendering these beautiful glyphs that he has in this sort of pixelated art made it so, like, whenever I see it all together, the diamond shape looks like this tiny little character, as if I made it smaller than every other glyph shape. But it is the same width and height. Like, it's still a 25 by 25 square of knitting stitches, and it's like that's what everything is, but when you just see it in a row, it looks just so much smaller and thinner than everything around it. And so yeah, anytime you take things away from where the edges would have more just lines and things going on, it suddenly looks like it's a different size or something.
That's not too different an angle. That angle is 46.4.
And yet it looks. Tinglish says try multiplying the original width by sine. And then in parentheses 45. Roughly 0.7. With our new calculator, mathematical calculator, I think we can do that, yeah?
So weird. Like, how's that?
Well, and then, yeah, with the ends being rounded like that, wow, that looked very different.
Oh, I know. That's the issue. It's at 892. This thing needs to be way up here at 1200, like that. In fact, that's what we need right there. Oh, and this is at negative 300. That's at negative 300, Jess. What was I thinking? But that honestly doesn't look too much different. Okay, but
I think while David's working, I think having a verb that means something like to spread, to rub, to slather would be good, because I feel like that's something they would have been doing from very early stages because of their dam building. and using mud to actually hold things together. And so taking mud and like spreading it across the surface and to stack something on top of it. I really feel like they would have been doing that for long enough that having a protoform that means, you know, spread, slather, rub on, whatever, all the different ways we can say it. So if anyone has any ideas, we can start generating potential ideas.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You almost said something that would have made us have to really change the rating of our stream.
I am not responsible for the content of this stream.
Then who is?
Also,
do you want to do a redesign?
I don't know what I'm doing right now. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I hate this. I hate everything about this. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. And everybody knows that, and they're all watching me, and they hate me too. That's just what's going on. Oh, not scale, rotate. Sorry. Anyway, what's up?
I love you.
Love you too.
I'm asking for people to generate ideas for a protoform that means something like spread or you know.
Yeah, that sounds
spread.
like a good thing to do, like because of the, you know, like the mortar and whatnot.
And I'm staring at the sounds. I put them, well, you can only see the consonants on your screen. The vowels are I, U, A in the protoforms. So those are the only vowels we have. That's easy to remember. But you can see all the consonants up here.
47.5. Let's put this at 1200 and get it to 47.5. Probably there. I'm going to do the same. We're going to do the same thing here. Put it at 0 and get it at 47.4.
Are you finished with my notebook by chance?
You can have it. I'm not finished with it, but you can have it.
Well, I can give it back later. Okay, so erhu does not work. We don't have an E, R, or H in the protoforms. If it's a green letter in the consonant chart, that means that we don't have it. However, we could get A, I, voiceless L, U, aihu as a protoform. Aihu. Could get
Oh, we should put it there. 1006.
Balu. Bahu. Banu. I like Banu.
Well, I actually let's make it bigger because.
Okay, so I've got Aihu, Banu, Lau.
Alright, let's start with that. Now we can fix this up. Alright. So this one. Should be.
Kale.
That's negative 140. How does this work? You need to be the same on the left and the right, that's for sure.
Let me check protoforms.
shoot, what was the angle?
No.
47.5.
We don't have. And color. We don't have. Okay.
Let's try that.
Honey. Okay. Um,
10:53. It's gonna be a 10. So help me.
all right, David.
Oh, it's yeah.
Oh wait, that was no, that wasn't how. Okay.
I think I'm coming to the conclusion that it's physically impossible to have a character X. Because this is what I ended up with.
Oh, oh.
What am I doing?
I don't hate it.
What am I doing?
I don't know, but I don't hate it.
I mean, with my life. Why are we here? My goodness, we could be in Finland right now.
Okay, so how do you feel about protoforms lau, which will come out as low
For what?
to spread?
Okay.
Banu, which I think would just come out as banu.
Mm-hmm.
Kal,
Mm-hmm.
or kala.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna look up airu, but we have, so that would come out as like a.
I like Lao, that's going to come out as low, and I like it being reduplicated in the modern, so that lo means to spread.
Oh, that's what you're doing here. You're making things beautiful.
Oh, that's nice. God, I hate my everything. Except for you. You're good, Jesse.
I'm glad I got put in the okay category. Wait, I need a verb, not a noun. Oops. We don't have it.
That's on the corner.
Izu. Okay, do we have?
Hey Jess, look at this again. Does that look better? Like, I didn't change the X part, I just changed the top and bottom part. Does that look
It does, yeah. Like it's looking more in line with what's around it. So yeah. So you're doing good stuff. I know it's not going the way you want it to be going.
I don't know if I am, but
I don't remember what our verb forms are. This is going to be our first AU verb.
first alternate universe verb, like it. I think I'm just gonna have to leave this.
It's going to be low.
I think this is what I'm gonna do.
Low. Spread.
We're gonna do this. Where's Jonathan? I feel like this is all their fault.
Why?
Gotta blame somebody.
What are the verb forms in our dictionary?
I don't know.
It's just we've got 3 verb forms.
Oh, you mean like...
Yeah, like in our head words. Like I don't know what to do with them because I don't know where they come from.
They're the first person. I believe it's first person singular, and then second person singular, third person singular. Because third person singular doubles as second person plural. Is that right?
This doesn't feel right because we have those auxiliaries. And so when they're used in context,
It's just the subjunctive.
all of them are imperfect, habitual. These are all auxiliaries that take the agreement away from the main verb.
Wait, what are we talking about? Are you talking about the little suffixes that come on the verbs?
Yeah, there's two.
There's two of them. Yeah. And the suffixes are first person singular and third person singular.
Okay. And I don't know. I can't open Lexergy, so I don't know what to do with an. It's a-u and then plus e. I'm gonna look at the noun charts, and then third person would be a-u plus a.
I've got Lexergy open. What do you need me to put in?
Well, the protoform is lau,
Mm-hmm.
and first person singular would be the protoform is I and then voiceless M, but I think really the important thing is that it's an I.
Mm-hmm.
And then third person is ath, a theta.
What? That's not right. It's a U final form, so first person is going to be, instead of lo, it's going to be l, I with two dots above it. Third person is going to be E with two dots above it, l. We've got an example of each one in the green tables.
You got to know what the protoforms are.
Yes, you do.
How would you find that out?
The dictionary.
On the green tables, how do you know what the protoforms are supposed to be representing?
It's U final. So.
But it's AU final, so isn't that like you have to take the A into account, right?
You don't. We did all that ahead of time. So, like, if, for example, if you look at the blue table, the AU final forms
are different from the U final forms. They match the A final forms.
Okay.
But that's because the partitive starts with a U, and it mattered that it was A U versus something else, versus A U I and A U A. But if that.
Here, we can take a look at the sound changes and double check and make sure that it's correct. It was this triple vowel simplification. Thus, okay, so AU becomes AU. All right. Because the protoforms that we're looking at, it's an I and an A, right?
Triple sequences simplify to double. The first vowel drops out. So A-U-I becomes U-I. So we have a triple vowel sequence where there's no doubles.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first vowel just drops out.
So A-U-I becomes U-I, and A-U-A becomes U-A.
A, yeah.
And that is... Okay, good. So it's still the forms that I said. So it works out. So it's the I with 2 dots over it and the E with 2 dots over it.
Result of it outside the partitive and verbal morphology. Okay. So in other sequences, like where we would perhaps have a suffix that's a derivation and not something old like this, we would insert an epenthetic N. But here we do not. Okay.
Oh yeah, John. Okay, good. Jonathan is here. We're having troubles with our diagonals. They're just not looking right. I'm just trying to make an X and it's terrible, and everything is really, really bad, and I hate it. So that's what's going on at the moment. I did have another thought. I'm going to try it.
Spread.
All right, definitely not that. It's definitely got to be a little bit. That might be too much. See, that feels right. That feels right. Now it's just a matter of nope. Nope. Nope.
Right.
So unhappy with this. So very unhappy with this. I'm going to do something a little nutty. I'm going to try. Well, thank you, Juno. I'm glad to hear that you like Triga Sling. It doesn't absolve me from doing things that are terrible in this. In fact, it makes it worse. I wonder what that looks like. What's that one? Estimated. Nope. Yikes, a doodle do. But I see what I was thinking. I was thinking this. Let's try to get. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, what happened?
I don't want to say.
Okay, but I have some exciting news for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we think about these serial verb constructions, we could also do it the other way, of course. Okay, so I feel like we could do these in either order because it's a serial verb construction, like tail slap and slather. Putting those together, if you like this idea and want to pursue it, some phonetic forms that I think we could end up with and without the ga, which is and. We have abigalo, avilo, zabigalo, zabilo, loavi, logavi, lozavi, logadavi. Like depending on the order that you put them on and whether you use the old form of just like to pat with the tail, which is avi, or the augmented form zavi, which is, slap with the tail.
I made it worse. Okay, let's stop trying to actually make things look like anything and let's focus on these forms. So were the stresses correct on all of those?
Oh, honey.
I feel like
this is me speaking, so I'm sure I was all over the place.
I feel like for all of them, they should have all been word final stress.
That's what I attempted.
Okay, do you have these written down somewhere?
Yeah, if you join me in the document, you'll see.
All right. Okay.
Because the and just goes between, right? Yeah.
There is something so satisfying about these tetrasyllabic forms. You know what it reminds me of? I know what it reminds me of, and I know why it's blinking such bright lights in my brain. It sounds like the Creole language Fanagalo from South Africa. And I believe that the name of Fanagalo comes from an expression that means do it like this, shortened down into a single word. And so this tail slap and slather, it's so good.
My personal favorite, I think, is abigalo, because we get the syllables, but then it's also a slightly shorter form to type. I know that on some of the cards you've been struggling to put both name and title.
Yeah.
And so it's 2 less letters than abigalo.
I love it. Let's do it. Abigalo. That's incredible. And so this is just going to be a verb, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then... Yeah, because then...
Slap and slather.
Yeah. because then the one who does that is Abigailose.
Should I add that to it?
Sure. But yeah, this is wonderful. Lather, rinse, and obey. What would happen if this were actually an X? It's 200. That's the thinner one. Because something I was thinking about is the Russian character. Let me get some new color here. The Russian character that, and forms like je.
David, it hasn't switched.
Did I do the wrong thing?
Ooh, no.
I don't
There
know.
it goes. There it goes. Now we're seeing what you're writing.
The Russian character, je, which is like this. Part of the reason it's not an issue in seeing it is that it is, like this and not like that. That makes it a little bit more difficult to see. But one thing that happens with this character is that it gains these little thingies here so that there's more space in here. If you were to do that with this character in our Beaver language, based on the logic of the font, it would come out like this, essentially. And that would essentially, you would never see these divots, and so then it would basically just be
A giant blob.
this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to mock that up. This is so weird. Like the key combination, it stopped working. It was working.
Yeah, last week it was working so beautifully.
No, I mean it was working on this stream.
Oh.
And it just isn't anymore.
David, I know you've been struggling today.
Yeah.
But we just came up with Abigarose.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. And
Copico. When everything else is wrong, Copico is always right.
by the way, this little description I've written here is that this is a beaver known for quick and dirty solutions. One more likely to fill a hole in the wall with toothpaste than to actually fix the hole. That was what so many people when we were moving out of college dorms did.
What?
Fill the holes in walls with toothpaste.
Why?
Because if it's white toothpaste, you can make it look like you didn't damage the wall.
My goodness.
And so
I
instead
never
of...
did that.
I didn't say you did. I said that's what so many people in dorms did. It is indeed coffee candy. Did you say Blaher? Blaher? Blaher.
I have no idea. Can you throw in some IPA for that? Blaher, pingy, no?
I know we're trying so hard. But yeah, because you know the petty stuff you can buy is effectively the same thing. except it's much more expensive than toothpaste. And there were a lot of people in dorms who did not. Ooh, blache. A lot of people in dorms who did not pay attention to the rules that you weren't supposed to use nails or anything like that in the walls. You were only supposed to use like those like command strips that you could like take off posters and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people tried to use nails and whatnot and punctured holes in the wall because of it, or tried to hang things that were too heavy, and there'd end up being a quite nice size hole in the wall. And you would be charged for it, and they didn't want to be charged for it, in part because then their parents would get a bill, and and so college kids are college kids.
I only lived in the dorms once, and I mean, I don't know, I never put any holes in the walls.
I didn't either. I used the command strips like I was supposed to.
Yeah.
But other people did not. And on the last day when you're moving out, the RA has to come through and check your room to make sure you didn't kill anything in there. But I lived in the dorms. I mean, my entire college career.
And yeah, and then after that, of course, I lived in the co-ops where you could do anything that you wanted at all. You never had to change anything. You were, in fact, encouraged to do things to your room. In my last year, the first semester of my last year, I was taking Egyptian. And so to help myself remember, in Sharpie, I wrote all of the bi and triliterals on the wall, and used different colors to remind myself, of the various things, and it helped me, refresh and remember. I was actually disappointed when I came to my room later, and it had been painted over, more artwork had been put on. I mean, not surprised, but like I was hoping that, a little something was still of me was still there in Casa Zimbabwe, but it just keeps getting refreshed and painted over so much. Some things were good that they got rid of it, like somebody is an art project. I still don't quite understand the idea, but we're kind of like using glue to put pubic hair on the wall.
No, I don't. I'm over here talking about these tame college students trying to not have to spend money on the putty to fill the holes in walls, and David's like in a place where people glued pubic hair to the walls.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you survived. Thank you, Dark Horse. Thank you. Like, what?
I really loved living in Casa Zimbabwe. It was wonderful. It was the closest thing I think I could ever experience to, in real life, living on a pirate ship. It was incredible.
I've seen pictures. I am so happy to have never set foot inside.
You gotta
next time, Jonathan. Absolutely not where anyone thought that was going, and yet here we are.
Next time we're at Berkeley, we gotta go on a little tour. It's so cool.
I'm gonna disappoint you and not find it cool, and just the whole time be like, "Can we leave?"
So I think that, I mean, assuming that the width of that there is correct, I've got the next poll. So, and it's going to be deciding the fate of this damn character.
In all the senses.
Let's see, 50. I think that's a good width. Yeah, I think so. I can't think of another option that I want to include at the moment. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go with this 3. I am going to get rid of this because we're not going to be doing that. I'll put in our corn character, Ma. It's so big. All right. So this will be the poll to determine which of these three we're going to move forward with. Obviously, this is the most conservative option. Easiest thing to move forward. I do want to show you. I wish it was working again. I'll try it. Nope, didn't work. All right. I do want to show you the picture that we started with. It's this one right here. So what you can see here is that we have this dam, right? This was supposed to be the river, and this is the dam in the center. And so that was why when I extrapolated based on Jesse's picture, I was like, well, this makes the most sense. It's like you have the river here, and then you have all these lines indicating the dam. But then I thought that would simplify gradually over time in this way. This might be able to reintroduce that midline for one of these. But anyway, I thought that was very lovely, but as we kind of developed the style, because of course you always vote on the style, right? But when you actually get into the font, sometimes things change. Mm-hmm. And I think that in truth, the style of this font changed closer to that Tinker Toy one than the only key difference is that the Tinker Toy one was supposed to have varying thickness of lines, two different thicknesses, and this has relatively uniform. But anyway, yeah, it's clear this isn't going to work anymore, and so now the question is what to do to kind of like, remembering that we started as this, what's going to be the most faithful adaptation of that? Wrong thing. iPhone.
Do we have a character yet that's effectively a barred eye?
No.
Because that would, river down the middle.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to do one other thing, though. Copico. A yummy, tasty little Copico. Oh, yeah.
We've got so many more names, or titles rather, to think of.
There we go. Maybe I'll do those 4 options. Now I'm curious. What would this one look like?
Get the sticks moving in every which direction? Is that what that was for?
That one may be a bit too much. But it was worth it. Mm-hmm. It's worth it to see it. Yeah, may do those 4 options. But yeah, wait, where is it? Blacher, you didn't say what your second name was. Wait.
Does it help to know that I think it's Polish?
Not me. It might help somebody.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. Pinguino? And is it Blue Penguin?
Oh, that would be fun. So, well, I'm thinking of it.
Sundog.
We do need a word for this.
Yes, we need a word for sundog, and I would really love to have it.
What syllables? Oh, that's right. So I think maybe Blue Penguin was right.
Nice.
Maybe. Or that you just did a good pronunciation.
Oh, I doubt that's true.
But what syllables do we have left?
Bobby, Tati, too. Like, I feel like, shouldn't this be like, I mean, are we thinking this is going to be a basic root? Like, I understand it's a basic image and shape, but not necessarily a basic root, right? I don't know.
What if the basic root actually meant
like ring?
like hollow, like something that you would expect to see in a ring shape, and then the sundog, like the actual word for it is that plus cloud or plus sky, which we've done for other compounds.
You mean like a hollow in a tree?
Yeah,
Sky
just something where it's like
that's much
this
more
shape.
I think that's much more evocative than what I was going to suggest, which was something like sun ring. I like that, the hollow in the tree, but it's in the sky. And so the thing that this would be, it would be sky that this would ultimately be standing in for, because it's the first syllable. Do we have that? We do.
Yeah.
Dune. And DU is not spoken for.
So sky would come first?
Wait. No.
Because modifiers come second and
Modifiers
the other
modifiers come second. You're right. Sorry, you're right. So we don't have hollow or whole. so yeah, a hole in a tree, hollow in a tree, maybe just whole. I don't know.
Because I was also thinking of
A knot.
When a log rots from the inside and it's it's laying on the ground and it creates, like, if you're looking at it, it looks like a drain pipe, like a culvert, like it's just you can run through it.
Oh, a what?
A culvert.
What's that?
It's what you put under ditches, like a section of pipe. You put a very large round one. You put it under, like a driveway, like that when you pave with gravel your own road.
Yeah.
And water runs through a particular area. You put one of these. It's a culvert.
Okay.
You put it in the ground. You cover it over with the gravel for your road, so that way when the water rises from the creek, it goes through instead of washing away your road.
This is a word for the pipe.
Yeah. So it's the round thing, but like you can imagine like you've seen hollow logs, right? Where it's like animals can run all the way through it.
Yeah.
But if you're on the ground looking at it, it looks like a ring because it's.
Okay, and then how does that relate to this?
That was just the word I was going for. So it wasn't necessarily just like a straight on hollow in a tree where a bird would nest, because those are often kind of more like that. It was like the idea of like the open end of a pipe where it's like the ring, but like their natural pipes would be like hollowed out trees.
Sky. So it's not a word for hole or a hollow in a tree, but a third word that's also not the word for ring or circle.
Let's just be ring.
Is that right?
Let's just make it ring.
No. I'm asking if that's right. I'm trying to understand.
I don't know. I was just coming up with like what I was talking about. That's all. Like, yeah, it's round. Ooh, a belly button of the sun. Do they have belly buttons?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think so. Don't all mammals have belly buttons? Wait, do all mammals have belly buttons? Oh, brother. Biblaridian's going to be so ashamed of me.
Like, where's a dog's belly button?
I don't know. Maybe they have more than one. But
aren't mammals, non-human, actually born inside their little amniotic sacs, and then like their mother licks it away?
Yeah, I think you're right. For this thing,
It
like,
could be a knot in the tree. Yeah, we could just do that. I thought we
like
had a word for that, or I
we
thought I tried to draw an image of that,
not in a tree.
and that was
Voo.
potentially another one.
And we already have Vu. It's already taken care of, so it can't be that.
Yeah.
The,
Yeah, so I was trying to think of things we didn't
yeah.
have.
What about like a tree tunnel or a log tunnel?
And so this would be kind of like a...
A log tunnel would be, you know.
Well, I mean, it could also... Hole would be round, and this could look like a
Hole.
sky hole when you look up, and it's like this ring.
And we don't have a word for hole.
So yeah, let's do hole.
Okay. The only things that we don't have any dots in at all are ba, ta, tu, di, do, vi, su, hla, la, li, ni, ngu.
The modern day word is going to be compounded with do to make sky, like for the sundog.
Oh.
So what sounds good with do as the second half?
Is it regular D?
Yeah. D-U-N is
D-U-N.
And so dun is, sorry, it's going to be dun. I dropped the N off. I was thinking wokutishu, like, we're going to get rid of that coda consonant.
Apparently we do like a gemination thing, so lun dun becomes lud dun.
Oh,
How about that?
that's kind of fun.
Oh wait, we have lu. Never mind. What's the ones that we have that nu, ngo, to, do? Su. Sudun.
We also had like ta or ba, ti or something.
I kind of like the rhyming. Sundog, sundun, becoming sudun.
Well, do you like that, or do you like tu dun? Because I don't think we have tu.
I don't like it as much.
Okay.
But we could also do other things. Su. What happens with sus? Sustun. It's kind of cool. A little sus. I like it. If we put in fa, it becomes suvdun. It's kind of cool.
I mean, what if we made it an M? Would it still become
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
sudun? Oh, something else happens.
We might need to look at Lexergy for this. If you put an N, and these are all voiced, not voiceless. If you put an N, it becomes sudun with a geminate D. If you put an M, it becomes sunnun with a geminate N. Somehow that doesn't seem right.
Oh, wait. PB, so all the stops all become nasals after nasals that don't match their individual places of articulation.
Oh.
So TD and L become N after an M?
Huh.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, it was to prevent something like sumka, I think.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay, so they would. So wait, is it sumun then with two M's?
no, with two N's.
N's. I mean, yes, because then a nasal matches in place after that to a nasal that follows it,
Yeah.
and so the T, D, and L become an N, and then the M becomes an N to match it. So yeah, which one do you like best, babe? Like I like Sudun, Sunun.
I either like Suvdun or Sunun.
I kind of like the Sunun.
All right. SUM it is for
Whole.
whole. All right. You enter that. I'm going to actually do this.
And then I also have a little announcement to make. Here we go. But I can't do that while typing. So I'm going to stop for a second. Today is October 24th, so if you're a patron who's been following along, you know that this month was another challenge, an a posteriori challenge. If you haven't gotten me your work but want it included in the next LangTime Chat episode, please get that to me as soon as you're able. I am going to start working later on tonight on pulling pieces of that episode together. It's, end of the month, we've got a lot going on and we have a trip coming up, and so I needed it a bit earlier than I otherwise would have. I've already got, I think, 5 submissions. I think I've confirmed with everyone who sent something. I have one message I need to respond to, so if that's you, I see that I need to respond to you. But anyway, that's coming up real quick. If you had started participating but you couldn't finish much work, feel free to send whatever you do have, even if you just have a sentence or two or a couple ideas, and I'll try to weave it in as best I can just to say here was another idea that someone had, and we can talk about that. But the goal is to be able to compare these sentences across our new little language family that we're creating, and so that is my announcement. I'm going to enter this, and then I think we're going to have to go pretty soon because we're now running late.
Yeah. Let's look at smaller sizes. Yeah, it looks fine. Should it be smaller? I feel like it's too. Should it be smaller?
All right, so now we have sunun.
No.
Well, in the dictionary we do.
Yeah. I was just looking at that. And then, what was it? It was SUM. Is whole. There we go. Did you change the number of entries up top?
I did.
Oh, that's awesome. All right.
Yay!
Yeah, listen, thank you for sticking with us. This was a challenging stream. Definitely not one to start watching live. If there were any of you that started watching live and this was your very first episode, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What a mistake. What a tragic mistake you made. Anyway, but we did our best. Really, that's all we can do. We just tried our best.
We came up with a title. We're good.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you all for being here. Hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you all next Thursday, which is Halloween.
Yeah. And there we go. Add that.
All right. So we're good to say stay grammar and goodbye, David?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Stay grammar, everyone.
Bye.